Good afternoon and welcome to Mike and the Hoss on Wolfeboro Community Television. I'm Mike today.
And I'm Charlie Hossack.
Charlie, today we have a little bit different format. We have some special guests that are going to join us from the Kingswood hockey team.
Oh, that's awesome. We're really looking forward to it. Last week we had Coach Potenza. Now we're going to have some of the players.
And the boys, they were the only winter sport team to make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. They have their quarterfinal game tomorrow against Keene. They're coming as an underdog, so it's going to be interesting to hear from the boys and where their minds are at right now going in.
I agree. I can't wait to get their perspective, and just really excited. I know they're excited, but I'm really excited to be able to watch these guys play and compete for a championship.
All right, so we'll be right back with the Kingswood boys hockey team. Okay, Charlie, as promised, we have some boys from the Kingswood hockey team. Sam Dene, Cole Emerson, Colby Clegg, and Nick Potenza are joining us. Nice. Big playoff game tomorrow night, boys. You guys are heading into the quarterfinals. You have Keene. Pretty exciting. Last year, you made it to the semifinals. You had a big, quarterfinal upset last year. So pretty excited. I think right now you guys are the only Kingswood team that made the playoffs out of the winter teams. So there's no pressure for you. But do you guys want to recap the season, how things went? Sam, you want to get going?
So beginning of the season, we had 18 kids who were looking pretty strong. Right away, one of our top defensemen went down, and then injuries followed up on that. And so we've had a few numbers all year, but we kind of battled through it all year. We've excelled with only 9 kids really playing. So really kind of a good season thinking about what we've come through.
Now, do you guys feel, is this season different than last year? I mean, last year you guys had such a great run, and it was really exciting. I felt like the entire school was out there supporting you, and I'm hoping we're going to see the same from Keene last night. But how is this year's team different than last year's?
Well, I feel like this year's team, we're playing for something a lot bigger. We're playing, obviously, for ourselves, for the school and the community, but we're also playing, we dedicated the season to Ben Baldwin, a kid who passed away in a car accident last year. And I think we're playing for his spirit, so I feel like it's really like fired us up almost and playing better.
I know that Ben's been, obviously, like you're saying, Cole, a big part of your season. What else have you guys done that has made Ben part of your season?
For instance, like after end of each game, we have this thing called the team jacket, and we normally have like a name on it. And this year, our captain Sam Dene decided to dedicate the jacket name to Baldwin, and at the end of the season, we're going to give it to their family. And I feel like every game, each player's playing for that jacket, and I feel like it's just improving our team and making us better and believing.
That's great, and I know that Ben's dad is part of the Kingswood program because he helps to assist the girls varsity program. So having him part of this program is nice. So that's a really nice touch, guys.
Yeah, and from talking to the Baldos, we know it means a lot to them, what you guys are doing, so very well done. Like any team, every team has pregame rituals, stuff that you do before the game. Do you guys want to share in some of what you guys do?
So we've been keeping it pretty simple, but we like to do the exact same thing before every game because some of us are a little superstitious maybe, but we've been playing some Sioux, which is just like we all gather around, we kick the soccer ball, keep it in the air, we do some stretches.
Yeah, we'll fill a couple Gatorade bottles with some like pre-workout. We'll pass them around the locker room. Usually gets everyone going. And we listen to a certain song before every game. It gets us going for warm-ups and the whole game. So.
What's up with the gummy bears? I see gummy bears being passed around all the time.
Oh, the energy chews.
Energy chews?
Yeah, we have those in between periods and before games.
Okay, so they're just not regular gummy bears?
It's like a pre-workout.
Pre-workout? Okay, that's cool.
Fancy gummy bears.
So you guys have Keene. I know you lost to Keene earlier this year, 7-3, but you guys were also depleted that game. I know, Sam, you were pretty sick. You didn't make it through the game, right? What's it going to take to advance, to get past Keene? What do you guys think you guys are going to need to do to come out on the other end?
Keene's a pretty good team. Obviously, we're a good team, too. We just got to want it more than they do. We got to work harder than they do. We got to beat them, win the puck battles, and win little things in the game. And I think we come on top.
You are the underdog, obviously, because you're the 5th seed, they're the 4th seed. I don't think Keene's been playing great hockey as of late. So hopefully you're going to catch them at the wrong time. Last year you went into Wyndham when you were the big underdog, and you had a couple guys stand on their heads a little bit during that game to get you going. Do you see that you need to have that happen in this game, or does this need to be more of a team effort, work hard, that you can do it just strictly on talent and effort?
Well, we're always the underdog. We always need to come out and work hard every game. We can't win on talent and effort. or we couldn't win on talent, but we have to win on effort. We're always the underdog. Everyone always doubts us. So
What's the overall mood? I mean, I know from you four, I understand your mood, but as far as taking a look at the whole team, how do you guys feel as a team? I mean, I know as Mike and the Haas, we feel like this is the year, guys. I mean, we feel like you guys are going to win the state championship this year. How do you guys feel as a team?
I mean, all week I've been thinking, like, we can beat Keene, we can beat anyone, because, like, all season we've played with every team. Like, yeah, the scores don't show up, but the scores of the games don't reflect on how that game really went. Like, I feel like as a team, there's a lot of excitement built around this, and I feel like we all believe, and I feel like there's hope, and there's a lot of drive to win. This is a winning team, and we have a drive to win.
Do you guys have a specific game plan for Keene? Is there anything that weaknesses that they have that you guys think that you can exploit a little bit?
their strengths are actually their forwards, and their forwards like to carry the puck down the sides.
offside,
Yeah, the offsides, and trying to draw a defenseman in. We're going to try and stay home with their defenseman, try and keep very patient defensively wise, and so we're going to try and just pound their defenseman.
Yeah, we have to be very disciplined in our defensive zone because they have some kids on their team that will capitalize if you give them the opportunity to put the puck in the net. So
I also think we just gotta like get under their skin a little bit in the beginning, get them off their game, and go in hard on the forechecks. Can't be scared of any of them.
Yes.
A good point, Nick. What I've read from Keene is that they've been in the penalty box an awful lot lately. They've been getting very frustrated, and they've been taking some bad penalties. And so other teams that are lesser than Keene have stayed in games, beaten them, tied them, or whatever, because Keene's been playing shorthanded. Is that part of this, to try to get them off their game, to make them frustrated, like Nick said, and maybe get some penalties?
Yeah, obviously, well, anytime the team's on penalty kill, it's an advantage for you. So, if you keep working hard and keep frustrating them all game, they're going to take penalties.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that the biggest strength that you guys have is probably your power play. I mean, the four of you guys are on the power play unit. Coach has talked about that. That's where you guys seem to get the puck in the net. More than 5-on-5 stuff is through power play. So hopefully you guys can get some odd man stuff going.
Yeah.
So our next show is next Friday.
Yeah.
And that would be the game before the finals, the state championship game. So should we plan on having these guys back before the finals?
I would love that.
Okay.
I have one. I actually have one more question.
All right.
I want to give you guys the opportunity to do this. So you got a lot of coaches on the team, and they're all great coaches. Is there something you want to specifically? I'd like maybe if you could share something about one of the coaches, what you really like or love about them. You can't talk about your dad though. All right. So why don't we start with Sam?
Coach Tatro.
Okay.
The guy's the nicest guy up front, but when he's on the bench, he's the meanest man ever. He's screaming,
Really?
He's screaming at other kids in the team, calling kids traffic cones.
All right. Right on.
I'll talk about Coach Tenza. I
All right.
feel like he has taught me a lot through the years. Sophomore, I came in as a sophomore, I went to freshman year, and I just feel like he taught me a lot. And I mean, I even wrote my college essay on him, like just dealing with
Wow.
adversity and like the meaning of discipline. It's my senior quote. It's just like,
What a compliment to Coach.
yeah, he taught me a lot. Taught me a lot.
I'd like to do Coach Kelly. Coach Kelly just kind of keeps like the defense together. He
Yeah.
works just mostly with the defense. And in games, you can hear him talking over there. He's saying some good stuff, and he kind of keeps all of the boys in check, which is good because we need that.
Yeah.
Coach Hughes, he's got a lot of hockey knowledge. Obviously, he helps us out with a lot of our plays and stuff like that, and he gives us some good tips during practice and in games. We come off the ice, and we do something wrong, he'll let us know, and he'll help us do the right thing the next time.
You guys are fortunate. You have a very dedicated coaching staff, but don't forget Coach Bonifant, too.
Yeah.
No one has more heart than Coach Bonifant.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And,
As we look at all these guys as coaches, like as they are coaches, we don't really look at them as coaches. We're kind of a family all around. So this is different.
And then I can't let go. I mean, I don't know if you've had the opportunity, if he's worked on you, but maybe say a little something. You got anything about Alex Stria?
Oh,
I mean, he's definitely keeping your team together.
yeah.
Alex, the fifth coach, sixth coach.
Yeah,
we had a team dinner last night, and Alex came.
that's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
all the coaches came, and Alex came. So
Yeah. I think you guys understand how lucky we are as a program to be able to have someone like Alex part
Absolutely.
of our. Not a lot of schools have an Alex.
Yeah.
So
Keeps us
we're
all
blessed.
together.
Yeah,
Especially this year.
Yeah.
that's great.
So,
That's great.
well, guys, so the plan is that you're going to come in here next Friday before the finals.
Yes.
Very nice.
All right. So, best of luck tomorrow. You guys got this.
Yep,
You
you
guys
do.
got this. Believe in yourselves, and you guys got this. And we'll talk to you next Friday.
All right.
All right, guys.
Mike and,
Thank you.
Mike and the Hoss will be there tomorrow night, guys.
That's
Okay.
right.
So yeah,
Sounds
good
good.
luck, guys.
All right, thanks for
See
coming
you,
in.
Keen. Thank you.
We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to Mike and the Hoss on Wolfeboro Community Television. That was fun. Having the
was.
boys there.
Yeah, it was great. They were. It's they even said they were a little nervous. I thought they did a great job. It was,
Yeah, they did great.
Yeah, I like their perspective, and one of the things I really enjoyed was hearing about their coaches, obviously hearing about the game plan. But we had talked about this last week about how the whole family piece, and we were saying, oh, they seem like family, they look like family, but they said they're family, and the coach is a part of that family, and I think having that family, that closeness, it's going to, not only is it going to help them in the playoff games that they've got left, but that's going to help them in life.
Absolutely.
Just being able to be together like that.
And it's also creating those memories. You think back to, we both played high school sports
Sure.
and some college sports, and
Yep.
the beginning of the year is not where those memories, it's the end of the year when, as you've gone through the grind as a group.
Yeah.
So it was nice to see. I thought the boys did a nice job, and hopefully we're going to see them next
They
Friday.
did. Yeah, I'm planning on seeing them next Friday.
All right. Before we leave our Kingswood topics, we have a couple athlete of the weeks that we want to share. Maria Correa
Awesome.
on unified basketball. Maria's been doing it for 4 years, I believe.
Yeah.
This is her 4th year. She's just such a positive individual.
Yeah.
And it's really nice to see Maria get recognized. And for the boys,
We had Ethan Arnold for basketball, so he had a big night the other night. Scored 24 points, and it was an overtime win against John Stark. So it's always nice when Kingswood gets the win. And Ethan has been. We've talked about Ethan a lot this year as
Yep.
far as basketball. So congratulations for becoming athlete of the week, and congratulations to Maria.
and Ethan's a freshman? Is Ethan a freshman?
I'm not sure. I know that Ethan is from Wakefield.
Yep.
So I hope he's a freshman. That would be great.
No
So
kidding.
yeah, great
He's
job.
definitely been a regular contributor. You're right. We have talked
Yeah.
about him quite a bit when we've talked about basketball.
Yeah.
So I guess it's time to move on to some other sports.
Yeah, so let's want to talk a little Celtics.
Let's go.
I don't have a lot of positive things to say about the Celtics.
Well, that's more than I have.
Okay, so they've lost 4 in a row, and it's not good to lose 4 in a row as you enter the month of March, because obviously playoffs are starting in April, and these are some not so great losses. They're kind of ugly, and then we still have the drama with Kyrie. And you heard from Kyrie, we've heard from Danny Ainge, and I don't know. What are your thoughts, Mike? Where is this team going?
I'm just about done.
Okay.
With the Celtics, and I like rooting for teams that I like, and I'm having trouble liking this team. And I think I said that a couple weeks
You
ago.
did.
This has been a theme for us for pretty much our whole entirety of our programming.
Right.
Is that what are the Celtics? And I'm putting a lot of that blame on Kyrie, and I say that with him being probably my favorite player to watch.
Right.
But the drama that he brings off the court is unbearable.
Yeah.
And I think he's having a lot of effect on those younger players. And he's creating a me-first environment that's there. And, we just talked to these guys, the Kingswood hockey team, and I don't feel like we have a me-first environment on Kingswood, and they're having some success. They're reaching to their potential.
Right.
Whereas just about any kind of basketball expert would say that the Celtics are not reaching their potential. Their talent level is much more than they're playing. And I think it's a lot to do with that me-first attitude. You mentioned bad losses.
Yeah.
Just bad losses. Toronto by 30. The Bulls by 11 or 12,
Yeah.
a game that they weren't even close on.
Right.
Phoenix the other night by another 10. And
These are difficult losses, especially when you're trying to position yourself now for the playoffs. We agree that the Celtics are going to make the playoffs, but are they going to get past the first round? Interesting, last night, listened to Terry Rozier and an interview with him. I really like him.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, he's a great, fantastic point guard. But they were given some stats, which I don't have, but it was talking about if he plays more than 21 minutes a game, the Celtics have something like an 85% win percentage. If he plays less than 21 minutes, they're down in the 40s, 50%, whatever. But here's the interesting thing. They challenged him with the question, and he was great. He's like, it's not up to me. I got to do what I got to do. Coach Stevens makes those decisions. So you could tell that he's a team player and he's a Celtics player and he respects the coach's decision. But boy, I think I need to see more Terry Rozier.
Do you think he'll be running the point next year?
I do. I think we have seen the end of Kyrie Irving in Boston.
I do too.
Yeah.
You brought up that stat about Terry Rozier, 21 minutes. The same kind of stat is there for Kyrie playing over 30.
Right.
When he plays over 30, their winning percentage is less than 500. When he plays over 40, I'm not sure if they even won a game when he
Right.
plays over 40. And he was complaining about his minutes this week, that he wants more minutes.
Yeah.
Again, I think we're dealing with that me-first environment, and it starts with your best player. And your best player is Kyrie, and he is not playing a team game. And so at this point, do you want to sign somebody like that long-term and build your team around him? They're probably not going to have a choice. He's probably going to go anyway because
Right.
he's getting beat up pretty good by the Boston media
Yeah.
and by Mike and the Hoss. So,
Yes. So I don't think Kyrie will be around. I don't know. What do you think about this Anthony Davis talk? Can the Celtics? And I guess I'm asking a lot of questions. Can the Celtics win with Rozier and Gordon Hayward and Al Horford? I think they can. I think they can win. I don't know if they can get to that next level, but I think they win a series or two.
oh yeah, I do, and but I think them making the Eastern Conference Finals last year, Game 7, I think the logical next step for them would have been the finals.
Sure.
I don't know if they get to the finals. I mean, Gordon Hayward obviously is not all the way back from his injury.
Right.
He's not the player that they signed. Maybe next year he is. They still do need one more player. They need a scorer, a wing guy that can really put the ball in the net. One thing with Kyrie, he can close games. When he's motivated, he can close games, and they don't have that. They needed it last year in Game 7. They still need that, but I think the way the NBA works, and it's unfortunate, that the players kind of make their own teams.
Right.
And these stars, you saw them, all those stars together at the All-Star game kind of, saying, well, I'm going to play here, you're going
Yep.
to play here.
Right.
Now the latest is that Kyrie and Durant going to New York.
Yeah. Yep.
It's hard to compete with that, and I don't know if the Celtics have that draw without Kyrie to get the next level guy.
Right.
And so they might have to think about the draft. They might have to think about doing it differently. I want them to win championships, don't get me wrong, but I also want to be able to root for the team that's winning the championship, and
Right.
I don't think that this is the team to root for.
Yeah.
They're not fun to watch.
I agree.
On the other hand,
Yes.
the Bruins. The Bruins are on fire.
They are.
They have now a 16-point streak going, where they've I don't know exactly how you say it, but 16 consecutive points that they've gotten. Two of the biggest ones came last night against the Lightning, who are by far the number one team in the NHL.
Right.
They handled them. They outshot them 2-1. It wasn't even really a close game. That game could have been 8 or 9-1 the way that the Bruins were playing. They're playing some team hockey.
Yeah, they are.
They picked up a couple trades, Charlie Coyle and Johansson, and his first name is slipping me right now. They're up to the third best record in the NHL. That's a team you can root for.
Yeah, definitely. Charlie Coyle's a local guy, too.
Yep.
He's from Weymouth. Grew
Yep.
up in Weymouth, Massachusetts. Went to Thayer Academy. So getting Charlie back, not back, but onto the Bruins, that's a nice local pickup that's exciting. And what's any update on Pasternak's thumb?
2 weeks.
Yeah, two more. Seems to be two
more weeks.
so-
They haven't lost since since
I know.
since he slipped on the ice. So
Yeah.
the Bruins are in a good place, and they seem to be playing for each other. The San Jose game the other night, it was a big physical game, a lot of fights. Chara, at 42 years old, took on one
Yeah.
of the biggest bruisers in the league,
Yeah.
Evander Kane, and he took him.
Yeah.
He took him, and we can probably save that debate for another day about fighting
Sure.
in the NHL.
Yeah.
But when a team fights for each other,
Yeah.
it brings them together. And sometimes those physical games when guys are dropping the gloves in the NHL brings teams together.
Right.
And the last time that I remember the Bruins really, on this kind of run where they were fighting with each other was back in 2010, and we know what happened.
We
then.
know what happened then.
So things are looking good for the Bruins. They seem to be certainly trending in the right way, and
Yeah.
they're the hottest team in the NHL.
They are.
So it's just nice to see.
Third best record, as you said, in the
Yep.
NHL. So definitely going in the right direction, unlike our Boston Celtics.
Unlike the Celtics.
Yeah. Well, a couple weeks ago, Mike, a couple episodes ago, we talked about PEDs and we talked about whether or not players should be put into the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
And we had mentioned that we want to talk a little bit about Pete Rose and whether or not Pete Rose belongs in the Hall of Fame. As of right now, Pete Rose is not in the Hall of Fame. He's on the ineligible list, and he's not eligible for the Hall of Fame. For the big fans out there, that's MLB Rule 3E.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit of research there. Coach Skelly always comments on us that we're not doing our research, so I wanted to make sure that we kind of do our due diligence for him.
I didn't know he was watching. So
Which is just great, yeah. So with Pete Rose on the ineligible list, and the reason why he's on it is because he was betting against four teams, Major League Baseball. So what are your thoughts? Does Pete Rose belong in the Hall of Fame?
Well, I have a lot of thoughts on this because I think betting in sports is different now than it was back when Pete Rose was betting. You and I briefly talked about fantasy.
Yes.
And fantasy in itself is betting on sports, and players are allowed to do fantasy. They're allowed to have fantasy teams. So, how we consider betting, I think, is different now than, like I said, back in the 70s and 80s when
Right.
Pete Rose was doing it. The problem I see with Pete Rose is that all evidence points to that he was betting on his own team.
Right.
And
as
so-
a manager, not as a player.
And so now, as a manager, he's even has more effect of
Right.
the game. And so, let's say that he, I'm assuming that he was betting for and against his team at times.
I would think so.
Based on the pitching matchup that was there.
Absolutely.
So he's betting against his team, and it's a close game, and he's got to go to the bullpen to pull out somebody, and that has to be in the back of his head.
Yeah.
It has to be. I mean, otherwise, he
Right.
wouldn't have bet on him in the first place.
Right.
So that's pretty bad. And so now he's affecting the outcome of games through his betting, and I understand why he's not in the Hall of Fame because of that reason.
Okay.
Because that is about as bad as you can get.
Let's look at Pete Rose as the player, though.
Okay.
All right, so as you know, but I don't know if our fans know, that he has the most hits in Major League Baseball. He holds that record, 4,256. He's played the most games. People always say, oh, no, it's got to be Ripken. Nope, that was consecutive for Ripken, but this is the most games with, over 3,500 games. He's got the most singles. He's Rookie of the Year. He's a World Series MVP. He's got 3 World Series rings. He's won the National League, batting title. The guy could play baseball.
Charlie Russell.
And he also played baseball without any illegal substances in his body, so he didn't cheat. And I know that this is a different debate, but I just kind of wanted to get out there. There were no PEDs in his system. Everything he did was clean. So, well, what's the eye roll, Mike?
As a player, yes.
As a player. We're talking as a player.
As a player.
Yes.
All right. So as a player, yes, everything he did was clean.
Yeah.
Or let's say that he bet, on a game when he was a player, right? Because there is evidence out there that he bet as a player also.
Okay.
And he gets up there in the 9th inning, and there's 2 guys on base, the tying run and the winning run.
Sure.
I am sure that happened in Pete Rose's career. And I'm sure at some point he struck out during that situation.
Yeah.
Do we have to call into question, was that strikeout legitimate?
I mean, you make a good point about the betting, and I am not supporting or really condoning his betting, and I don't know if there was evidence of him betting as a player. There's clear evidence because he admitted to it finally that there was betting as a manager. But if you just look at Pete Rose, the player, as to what he did, I mean, I'm not going to analyze whether that strikeout was, because of this or,
can't.
because we can't do that. But just looking at what he did, what he produced, what he did for baseball in the 70s and 80s, and as a kid growing up in the 70s and 80s, like you said, I love Charlie Hustle. I love the fact that this guy that really didn't look like an athlete was amazing. Was amazing. And he, he's always hustling and always kind of doing the right thing. And it was just, he had not a pretty swing. It's just, that's who he was.
I have a solution, Charlie.
Yeah.
I have a solution. To stay consistent, because during our PED debate, I said, let's put him in, but put on the plaque that
Okay.
this is what happened. I think we do the same thing with Pete Rose.
Let him in.
I think you let him in, but on the plaque that he was banned from baseball for however many years,
Right.
lifetime, whatever. He's in on his stats. He was accused of betting, not accused, found to have bet
found to.
on base.
Yeah, he admitted to
bet
it.
on
Yeah.
baseball. And that should
Give him
go
the
on his plaque.
asterisk. So
Yeah.
so it goes back to, so we can let the Sammy Sosas and the Mark McGuires and the Barry Bonds and the Pete Rose and,
Yeah.
and they have the asterisk.
Yep.
'Cause-
Let him in.
Yeah.
Let him in with the asterisk. I don't think that they should be let in without. These are major offenses. Betting on baseball is
Sure.
a major offense because it brings up the integrity of the game,
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of a big deal. But let him in. You make a great point. His stats should, obviously get him in. Cut those stats in half. He should get in.
Right.
So let him in, but let's put the asterisks on there.
All right.
We did get a couple questions on Twitter.
We did.
We did from BD Rockin, or at BD Rockin. Wanted to ask us about Bryce Harper signed a $330 million contract over 13 years. And BD Rockin was asking, is this good for baseball? Long term, to have these massive contracts, waiting until the last minute when they're already in spring training. So what are your thoughts on that?
Right. Yes, I think it is good for baseball. I love the fact, coming off the heels of Manny Machado signing with the Padres, a long-term, big money contract, the fact that Harper's now going to play for the Phillies, and as a baseball guy, I love it. I love the fact that we're going to get the fans excited, we're going to get Major League Baseball excited, and if the owners have the money to spend, I say let them spend it, because it's going to help out the Boston Red Sox fans and Mookie Betts. What do you think about that?
I think that this is a palpable number that the Red Sox should be able to sign Mookie for.
Yeah.
I was worried that Harper was going to be in the 40s. And we've established, Mookie's a much better player than Bryce Harper.
Oh, absolutely.
His average annual is around $25 million, which is the same as J.D. Martinez, which is less than David Price.
Right.
$25 million, that's ridiculous amounts of money that we're talking about here still.
Yeah.
But at $25 million, you don't feel like that, handcuffing your payroll so bad that I hope that they send something. I would even say 13 at $350 to stay under that $30 million mark. Mookie's 26, 27
Right.
years old.
Yeah, 26. Same as Harper.
He seems to be, somebody that's going to have some longevity.
Yeah.
We've talked about his athleticism. It's not just baseball that he can play everything else. So,
So I think it's time. The Red Sox have to. They need to make a move with Mookie, and if we could sign him long term, like you said, for.
I think, this is going to go off of B.D. Rockin's question, but I would like us to debate at some point about a salary cap in baseball. Should there be a salary
Right.
cap in baseball? Similar to the NFL, similar to the NHL, similar to the NBA. They all have different versions of it. The NHL is a hard salary cap, where there's no moving. We know what the NFL does, and then the NBA, I don't even know if you call that really a salary cap because of all their different rules.
Right.
But I think that would be a good debate for us to have.
I think it'd be great, and thanks to BD Rockin for sending out a tweet, and I hope more people will start sending us information.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Mike, we're at time for this
are.
week's episode.
We are. So, do you have anything else to say, Charlie?
I don't, Mike. How about you?
I don't have anything else. So that's going to do it for us on Mike at the Hoss on Wolfeboro Community Television. You can tweet your questions to us at Mike and the Hoss on Twitter, and we would love to get back to you on those. Okay? So have a good day. Go Knights.
Go Knights.